Hello everyone, welcome to the 17th episode of Sunday Musicians Café. I'm very happy that we are carry on with this project and very happy to have this guest today, good friend and incredible entrepreneur, not only as a musician but also as a manager of a very important festival which he just did. So I'm glad to introduce you Federico Crema, which is an Italian pianist, and he studied in the US at Colburn, but he will tell us more about that. And I hope you're having a lovely Sunday. By the way, I just moved to a new flat, so I don't have many things around. I'm really happy I just did this. I'm able to continue this little project, even though last week has been quite difficult to handle because of the moving. So, but I'm glad you're keeping up, and thank you so much for the feedback I received last week for the episode with Sofia. Hope you can see me, hear me. Please drop a message in the chat if you have any problem. I hope also that Federico is able to join us soon. So let me see if I can invite him to the chat. If you have any suggestion, any comment you would like to give to me for this project, and any also names that you would like to see on the screen, it would be very nice if you want to contribute to this project in your own way. It would be very nice, obviously. So please don't hesitate to contact me or send me a DM if you feel like you have something to say about the project or someone that you want to listen to. So it would be obviously my pleasure to accept any suggestion and any names you would like to see on the screen and to be interviewed. For the next 2 months, there will be already a full schedule of this project. So any name you would like to suggest, and I know already some people suggested a couple of names. They will be either in November, December, or January. Let me just invite Federico, and we'll have a chat with him. Hope you're having a nice Sunday. Okay, Federico is here, so we can invite him. Yes, fantastic. Okay. Hey Fede!
Hello.
Amazing! How are you?
I'm alright. It's Sunday, so.
Where are you now at the moment?
Sorry. I just came back home, finally. So everything's alright.
Nice.
Nice. How are you doing?
Very good. I'm in London, just moved into a new flat, which has been quite stressful, to be honest. And I'm enjoying my first Sunday, chill and in my living room and stuff. I don't have anything, so I feel like I'm, like the house is empty. But it's a nice adventure, so I'm really happy to start this adventure. So me and Federico, we met month ago, maybe a couple of weeks ago. I don't remember. It's already been like 3 weeks or something.
Something like that, yeah.
Something like that.
Maybe a month. I don't know.
Yeah, a month. Yeah, more or less. You were about to start the project that you should tell us more about, because it's such an incredible endurance project, and he was just starting the Europa Festival, if I'm not mistaken. So with the Peace Orchestra, would you like to tell us more about that and to tell us what did you create?
Yeah, so I would say it's around a month ago. I was about to start the first edition of the Opera Music Festival. which was the home of the Peace Orchestra project. We had more than 70 musicians coming from all over the world, except
Wow.
in 4 continents and 17 states, if I'm not mistaken. And
Wow.
we selected them throughout basically a whole year, and the whole year. And yeah, after the selection, we invited them to come and rehearse and work as an orchestra here in Biella. And after this residency at the festival where they also performed, then we went on tour, and we just finished last week the tour. So yeah.
Wow. No, I mean, it's already, you can see, guys, it's Federico is so entrepreneurial, and let's give, I have so many things to ask you, and I would like to chat with you about many things, but let's give the audience a bit of the background of yourself, and I mean, not only as a fantastic entrepreneur, but you are an incredible musician, so you're mainly a pianist, right? So
Yeah.
what's your story? Tell us your story a bit.
Well, I did normal classical musician training. I did my bachelor's degree and then 2 master's degree. I studied in Italy at the Conservatory in Milan, and then I left for the States, where I continued my studies at the Colburn Conservatory of Music in Los Angeles, and then came back, did the first master's degree in Milan, and then second master's degree in Switzerland, in Geneva.
Nice.
And at the HRM. And then, yeah, right now I'm living in Berlin. And so classical music training was very, I would say, standard.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Well,
oh, yeah,
I mean, for sure you have, experienced many differences between the Italian way of teaching and the American way of teaching, probably. Oh, the Swiss as well. I guess it's very different in a way. But so when we say classical training and we think about standards, I mean, obviously we have we are all in common many methods that we use in the world, but the approach is very different in each country. How would you say is the difference between Italy and US, for example, in LA?
Well, it may sound as a cliche, but Italy is much more, I mean, at least the experience I had was much more flexible in the choice of your education.
Okay.
As in, I did my bachelor's, which I finished when I was 17. So I did both scientific high school and my conservatory, my bachelor's degree at the same time. But I was able to choose the classes I wanted. Of course, there was a fixed part of mandatory classes, mandatory subjects that I had to take, but attendance was much more flexible than in the States, for example.
Okay.
And especially, I mean, I know that Colburn is a very, it's like Curtis Institute. It's very small, highly selected people, and mostly focused on performance rather than theoretical subjects. But there wasn't really a choice of which classes you could take and which professor you could contact to have classes. While in Milan, for example, there were 4, 5, 6, sometimes even 10 different professors teaching the same exact.
So do you think actually this is based on the fact that in the US is probably more performance based? So it's like they would focus more on your personality as a performer, not just as a musician.
Well, yeah, of course. In particular, that conservatory is structure like that. But in general, from what I heard in many other institutes or universities, there's really this sort of attendance policy which is really strict, but also the code of conduct. There's a lot of rules that actually are much more Swiss than the Switzerland. Than Switzerland, yeah. So.
Yeah. So you found the US stricter than Switzerland. That's incredible.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yes.
That's nice. That's nice. So would you say actually, I mean, you're talking about this as a positive thing, but also as a negative, I guess, side of the institutional approach. I mean, but for sure it helped you going back on track, maybe, or like focusing on one specific thing, like playing the piano, for example. Or would you say it affected your career in a negative way?
Well, there's another very interesting point in characteristic of U.S. universities, which is it's a different market, and it's a completely free market. So you need to build yourself and your image as an artist,
yes,
rather than just presenting your product as a concert pianist. This is what I do, this is what I play. There you literally have to create your own image.
Yeah.
So there's a need of a character, of building your own image that is much more profound and structured, right, than in Europe, I would say. It's a different approach with the audience as well.
Yeah.
Many more people, for example, they try to interact with the audience right before performances. It's obviously different
approach,
culture.
Yeah, it's a different culture. Yeah,
but
yeah, no, you're right. You're absolutely right.
But I think this kind of mindset really, I think, helped me a lot to grow as a musician as well. And when I came back, I really had the different knowledge.
Absolutely. I mean, I was about to say the same. I mean, it helped you very much to build your image. I mean, you are, as much as I know you, I mean, we know each other for a month. I mean, not that much, but I can clearly see that you have very solid ideas on what you want to look, how you want to look, and also your image in general as a musician, as an artist, no? And you take care of every detail, which is very, very valuable, I think, and noble. And so many times we forget about our own image as musicians, you know. And we care maybe about the dress, maybe about, you know, like how we present ourselves on stage. But all life, I mean, I said this in another episode with someone else, I think, I don't remember who, but another guest. We were actually saying, I mean, your kind of private life, so yourself outside the stage, it's still part of your image as a musician. So if you want to, you know, to be complete in a way as an artist, you should also take care of those aspects which are not part of the stage itself, but also they are, you know, they are part of your character as an artist. So in a way, I can clearly see in you that you are, you know, you're not just a fantastic pianist, and you know, on stage you are incredibly good and you sound amazing, but also outside of the stage, you carry on this performance. You know, the performance itself is a performance all the time. So, for example, organizing the festival is clearly a sign, like a symptom of this good thing, right? So, how did you? I mean, it must be incredibly tough to organize something like that. But how did you come out with the idea of the peace orchestra, for example?
Well, that's a very good question. First of all, I apologize for I probably look a bit. I mean, it's Sunday, and
it's okay. It's absolutely okay.
So I'm having bad hair day all over the place. I'm trying to fix it as I'm talking.
It's part of the image. It's part of the image. Don't worry.
Exactly. as Muti used to say, I also conduct while I, between the touch of a hair and another, I actually also. So
That's nice,
anyways,
actually.
so it started when I was invited back in 2018 to do my debut in Brazil as a invitation by Ricardo Castro, the founder and CEO of Neuspa, which is a humanitarian project, lovely, in Brazil,
Nice.
based on El Sistema, so a various El Sistema in Venezuela.
Yeah.
And I, besides obviously performing, which was a very nice experience, I got to meet their work and what they actually do through classical music, which is literally change lives of so
Yeah.
many people. And
I taught in El Sistema for 2 years in Italy.
is that right?
Yes, 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 yes.
But it's something. Well, I mean,
I love it. I absolutely love it. It's life changing for so many people, and
absolutely.
I really support the project. But carry on. Sorry, I didn't
No,
want
no,
to
it's
interrupt.
a wonderful project, but I think it's even more impactful when you see such parity and there's a hope of integration through in a country that it's really not as developed
Yeah,
or
yeah, yeah,
privileged as ours.
yeah.
It's even more impactful when you see literally drug problems
Yeah.
or different kind of culture and mentality, and then you see people gathering together through classical music, and
Totally
they
agree.
have
I
hope,
totally agree.
have a hope, a future thanks to that. So this was just a thought I had in the back of my head for quite some time, and then well, they made a fantastic Netflix documentary which shows not only my visit there but the whole project. It's very 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 beautiful, very moving. So it stayed in the back of my head, and then COVID hit, and uh, yeah, spoiler alert, COVID happened, and
Yeah, nobody noticed, Pedro.
nobody noticed, right?
Nobody
Um,
noticed. No.
and
When
then
when that happened? When?
and so I started to just think. I didn't obviously perform as much as I used to, so I definitely had more time to think about myself and my future as a musician, what I wanted to be, what I wanted to become, and what was my impact in the classical music world, in the world in general. And
Hmm.
I just started thinking about something I could have done to sort of do a first step into changing our society, and I came out with the idea of a festival, and then with the idea of the Peace Orchestra project, which was reality already actually 1 year before the war in Ukraine, and then with the war, obviously,
Yes.
I decided to push much harder and to do it as soon as possible. Because in any case, it's a hope of mine also that this project will carry on for many many years, and we
Yes.
share this our message and our values, not just because right now it's important. It's obviously
Our it's fantastic
everybody
project. I
can
think.
see that there's a war going on right now, so peace makes much sense. But
Yes.
uh, the values of integration and um,
Yes.
how can I say the development of human society through music. I believe those are incredibly powerful
Yeah.
powerful tools that we should use through classical music, and
Yeah.
this is my hope.
Yes.
That it will last long after the war and long after this tour.
Yes. No, I mean, as you said, I mean, it's an incredible project, by the way, and congratulations. I think is very valuable and is so needed today. Not only because of the war, but as you were saying, like the integration and everything. You know, wars. I think always are consequences of tensions, right? So tensions is before the war as well. It takes place in the everyday life of everyone and this project it's more probably capillary, so it's very nice. But I wanted to ask you something. Are the musicians of this orchestra like chosen by you or chosen by a system? How do you choose the musicians for the project?
So we first of all we partnered with two great institutions. One obviously is the humanitarian project Neojuba from Brazil. So we had
Okay.
several musicians coming from Brazil, especially for this project. And the other one was the Orchestra Giovanile Italiana, which is the youth orchestra of Italy, well established and high quality youth orchestra that
Yep.
changes their musicians every 2 years, I think.
Yes.
So we decided to partner with them because on one hand, obviously I wanted to let people know the Neojuba project to many more people actively in an orchestra. And this was the reason why we had this first partnership. And then the second one is because I wanted to continue the development of talents in Italian talents in the world, and so this is why I cared a lot
You.
about this partnership also. With,
I mean, you're obviously Italian. We are both Italian, as you guess from our accent, from our British accent. But I was saying, like, would you like to? I mean, as you are doing it already, so the connection with Italy will always be in your project somehow, as an Italian citizen, and also you care about the culture, as we can see about the Italian development also. So you just organize with this orchestra. You also organize the Europa Festival. So which
yes.
they are not connected initially.
Well,
I mean, initially
initially
they
no,
weren't.
no.
Yeah.
Initially, the
Tell
Europa
us
Music.
tell us about the Europa as well.
So just yeah. So just to end the previous question, then
Yes.
we asked every single participant
Okay.
every candidate to send videos and their bios and
Oh, okay.
through an application process, and then we selected them based on those documents. Regarding the Europa Music Festival was born before the orchestra. This was the original idea. The original idea was to have an environment that's very inclusive, but that showcases humanitarian projects. They use classical music as a tool for human development. And so my dream, my very first thought was to have a mix between Neojuba and El Sistema, and then someone like Ricardo Castro or Dudamel, to sort of sponsor those ideas and those values to a wider audience, and to have a classic music festival based on that. And nobody had this idea to dedicate a whole music festival to humanitarian projects and to showcase them. And so this was the idea. And the orchestra was a project that was a desire of mine to cultivate, but then I just thought of combining the two of them, even though they have a complete separate life and independent life. And so this is also how the Peace Orchestra project became part of the festival, because the orchestra was in fact, had the first residency here at the festival. So
Okay.
the first performance was here at the festival, and then they started the tour. But they stayed in residency here for 10 days or something like that. And we had 70 people. There was a humanitarian project in it, which is what I really cared about. And we had lots of amazing talents. We had people actually from El Sistema, from Venezuela. We had
Wow.
people from Australia. We had people from Switzerland, people from Spain, from the States, from everywhere.
Incredible.
Literally 17 states and 4 continents. And they studied in the best music institutions in the world, from Colburn, from Yale, from Salzburg, Mozarteum, and Hans Seitz in Berlin, and so on. So we had literally some of the best young musicians in the world to come together in a very inclusive environment, and to make music at the highest level. And then we added, of course, Martha Argerich, and
That's it.
Yeah.
How did you're a friend, no? We are friend. You're a friend with Martha Argerich.
Yeah.
How did you manage? I know she was actually unable to play before your festival in I don't know, with the Duvan Orchestra, for example, or the Divan Orchestra.
Yeah.
She couldn't play because she was ill. But she came at Europa, and how was it? You played with her.
Yes. I mean, she's a wonderful artist. She's probably the most iconic
Yes.
pianist right now, concert pianist.
Yes.
However, she's also 82, which we forget most of the times because she plays better than anybody. And so
Yes.
we don't actually see that when she plays, but she is 82,
Yeah.
and she was really not doing well a year ago with heart problems, and then she had COVID in Argentina, so she canceled lots of concerts. Even though she's famous for that, but she canceled lots of concerts because of important health reasons. So
Yeah.
at the festival, for the whole project, we were um, really scared about it,
Mm.
because the first
Yes.
performance with orchestra was the one with Peace Orchestra project, and so it was on one hand a big responsibility, on the other a big risk,
Yes.
because she canceled some. And but then yeah, there were some. We talked for a long time, and we decided she really cared about the project, and she shared our values, and she really wanted to take part in
Wow.
the tour, and so we had to make little changes in order to have to make it possible. And so we had to change part of the program. So we didn't do Pulang double because it was a
Okay.
bit too stressful for her.
Yeah.
And so she played Beethoven 1, I played Shostakovich 2 for the tour, but then we did some encores together, and it was very nice. But the energy and the generosity and the passion of wanting, desiring to take part in our project, regardless of the difficult situation. This is what really moved me, and
Yeah.
it shows what a great artist she is. And it was really the most important thing for me was obviously to have Marta in awesome health
Yeah.
conditions. So I was
Yes.
ready to, to cancel and everything, but she really wanted to do it, and well, we had a lovely tour, and so yeah, I'm very happy about that.
That yeah, that's incredible. I mean, it's an incredible thing. I mean, it's she's really incredible as a musician, and as you said, it's so difficult to remind ourselves that she's actually 82. I mean, when she plays, it looks like 25. You know, she plays with such a passion, such an energy, such a preparation as well. Like, I mean, like technically, she's flawless. I mean, she's incredible. And you think about that, and you say 82. I would sign immediately to be like the 82 for
Absolutely.
whatever price. Yes. But how did you meet her the first time in your life?
So oh boy, the very first time was after my time in Brazil. When I was invited from Nujaba, shortly after, I think 2 weeks after, they started the tour with her. So I also played Schumann Concerto. She plays Schumann Concerto for the tour, and this is how we first encountered. And then we have lots of friends in common, lots. And yeah, there was I think the time before, last time before I asked her to join for the project was at her festival in Hamburg, and we met. We had a chat, and I explained her the project and what I wanted to do, and well, it was we had to change a lot. As you know, projects don't come as you want them, so
Yes.
there were lots of changes, but she loved it since day one, and obviously helped us a lot to have such an incredible musician to support our project.
Yes.
And to have, honestly, I mean, we were three different generations. So there was me. We did an encore playing Six Sense, Rachmaninoff Romance, and so there was me playing. There was Ricardo Castro playing, and Marta. So there was three different generations, and
Wow.
we all had one thing in common, which was sharing the values of the project, but also the love of music,
Yes.
the love for music, and that was incredible. So
Wow.
yeah.
That must be like super exciting as well, like being on stage with such an incredible artist and wow, wow, wow. I don't know if a very strong personality as any very good artist is. I mean, you feel, I guess, the presence on the stage, and it must be difficult also to handle from a performer point of view, you know, like from the performance point of view, it must be difficult to you know to focus and you know like you know you're just making music, you know, you don't watch Martha Argerich making music, but it's you know it must be difficult, must be good. Federico, you are so inspiring. I mean, your life speaks by itself. And but I always ask this towards the end. I know you're very busy and you want to go as well. And I normally don't keep the guests too long for I don't want them to feel like in jail.
No, it's very
So
enjoyable. Yeah.
thank you so much. But I always ask this towards the end of the chat, which is if you have any tip or suggestion for the future generation of musicians.
Well, first of all, that's a very good question. I think it's very important to ask yourself why you're doing this, like why you want to be a musician and why you want to dedicate your whole life to music. What is the reason? And after that, because the truth is there are so many amazing artists that that pianistically or musically they reached the highest levels imaginable. So it's not really a need to compete with those. But there must be a reason within yourself of why you want to do this. And I think that's very important. And in my particular case, well, personal suggestion also, I would say then to work hard. No matter what you do, just put your whole soul into it, whatever it is, and don't give up. Uh, I think those are probably the biggest tips I could give. I don't have a secret recipe, but
Yes, yeah, I absolutely agree with you, and I love your sincerity and also your. It's very deep actually what you actually said to us, and I thank you so much for this because actually asking yourself why is the I think as well I think is the key for understanding our own profession because it's very tricky to split between our own profession and our goal in life as artists, you know, sometimes we struggle very much, and I see so many musicians being frustrated by the fact that they dream a profession which is more on the artist kind of side, but they struggle to find the way to connect the two things, right? So yeah, thank you so much, Federico.
Of
It's
course,
very inspiring, everything you said, and I hope to meet you soon.
of
And
course.
maybe you should come to London. If you are in Berlin, maybe it's close because we can meet each other in a couple of hours.
Absolutely.
But whenever you wanna come to London, please drop a message, and be very welcome to have a pint and a nice chat
I would love that.
live. Yeah, thank you so much, and good luck with everything, and
Thank you.
carry on with your projects. I support them with all my heart, and I think they are very nice. And you're a very inspiring person, and don't give up, as you said to
Exactly.
us. Thank
Well,
you so
thank
much.
you for
Thank
the
you so
lovely
much.
chat. Have a
Absolutely,
good Sunday.
absolutely.
Ciao, ciao.
Bye, 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 Fede. Ciao, ciao. What an incredible guest, Federico. Federico is really, really inspiring. I mean, he's someone that definitely we should look at because he never stops thinking of new possible ways to help the world being a better place. And I think this is very valuable and inspiring. So thank you so much for being here today at the 17th episode of Sunday Musicians Café. Please follow Federico if you don't, and follow me if you don't. I will do a while still for a couple of months. I hope so. And it's every Sunday at 2 p.m. London time, so BST for now. So thank you so much, and please let me know if you would like to share anything, any ideas, any names you would like to listen to them, other guests that I could invite. So thank you so much, and see you next Sunday. Bye bye.